Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
Here, I can drink a whole Hennessy fifth. Some call that a problem, but I call it a gift. Xzibit make the whole continent shift. Yeah, you invade your territory in a blaze of glory. A soldier story, living off nothing but instinct. Just continue to floss and lip sync, and I'ma just continue to float, but rocking the boat. Probably smoke $300,000 in dope. Don't make my desert eagle bearer touch the back of your throat. Always approach that's known for killing your folks. Be surprised who could turn around and bust on y'all. Catch your mother or your sister coming out of the mall. Bang, through they coats and they Macy bags. No retaliation, you basically running with fags. In these streets, you only good as your last transaction. Funny style, and these ain't laughing. Y'all got it all up in 0-0. Think life is a video for last act your heroes. Face the price you pay for the games you play. When it's all said and done, at the end of the day, you gotta get your walk on, get your head right. I know you feeling this. It is dead right. Get your bounce on, back that up. Pass me the bottle, fill your glass up. Get your walk on, get your head right. I know you feeling it is dead right. Get your bounce on, back that up.
What a time. What a time in hip-hop. Very, very West Coast. Very West Coast. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome into Hour 2. Of course, this is the show where we hit all the trending topics across entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture. Shout out to Xzibit. It feels like his era was so quick, so brief, but it really wasn't, you know? What was it? When did Xzibit drop? Like late 90s or was it 2000? I don't know. That ascent was quick, and then it was just like, where'd X go? Oh, did the music move on? I think about like it was Xzibit, J.O. Felony, a couple of other West Coast artists that were out around what year? 96? Wow. Okay. And so I guess his run was pretty well known, but I feel like as soon as trap music, like if you think about it, when Nelly came through with Midwest, right? Midwest Swing, Air Force Ones, you know, all of that. And I feel like trap music started getting bigger. The South really started kind of taking over hip hop in the early to mid 2000s. I think that a lot of West Coast rappers, even though we have a lot of rappers now, so I'm not saying that, got washed out in that thing. Just, you know, flatlined. You agree? No?
So like even though he came out in 96, I didn't think he blew up until 98. That's
Right.
when what was that? What You See Is What You Get came out. And then in 2000, from what I just played, Get Your Walk On, that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was a Dr. Dre produced album.
Yes.
And that's when he fell off after that album.
Well, it's hard to come back from a Dre album, I think. You know, I think Snoop is one of the only ones to kind of do that seamlessly, if you think about it, his sound was so Dre heavy, right? Then he left and obviously went to No Limit because of things. And the sound changed, the music, the production or whatever. But, you know, Snoop still kept it funky. And what? He and Dre didn't meet back up till 2001, right?
No, whatever No Limit Top Dog came out.
He had a song on there?
That's when he reconnected with Dre. I can't think of what song it was, but I do remember. So I believe '96. That was his first album with No Limit. The Game Is to Be Sold, Not to Be Told. And then I want to say maybe '97, '98. That's when No Limit Top Dog came about, and that was his reconnection with Dre.
Okay.
But I don't think they did a lot of songs together.
Just a song.
Maybe like a song or two.
Yeah, but it hasn't been like, Snoop and Dre, like it's a team, it's a song or whatever.
Not until Dr. Dre 2001 when they kind of really came back.
And that was a great album. And, we're never going to get Detox, so it is what it is. Do people even care about Dre like that anymore?
At this point, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Maybe us. The youth,
right.
nah.
No, and I'm going to be honest, that is some control freak BS that you don't want to work with established artists because you find younger artists to be more moldable. Like Dre. I mean, I guess you got to know yourself, but I feel as though he robbed us of some amazing collaborations because he wanted to be in control. Okay, so listen, before in hour one, we were discussing some of the Clippers' woes and struggles. Well, Lou Will, two girls like Lou Will. Side note, you got that story courtesy of me and my website. I introduced y'all to that. You may not know it, but that's where it originally came from. He recently was on an interview with Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks, and they were discussing the Bubble Championship. And so Lou said basically, we started to hear rumblings that nobody is going to respect this championship. So they took their foot off the gas. He goes more into detail on that. And Andy, do we have time to play the clip? Okay, so we're going to play the clip for you.
It was a struggle to get us to the bubble to begin with. We didn't even want to go, so I think just mentally we came into it without just the right mindset to finish the job. We didn't even want to be there. And I think once we got there and we was in it, I think I was in the bubble 97 days was how long I was there. And I think about day 67, I was like, let's get the out of here. So I think mentally we wasn't in it for the long game. We didn't really see, the pot of gold at the end of it. We were starting to hear the rumblings like, oh, nobody's going to respect this chip and all of that. And so I think we kind of just took our foot off the gas.
Mm-hmm. So here's my thing. What do you mean nobody's going to respect it? Like, who cares if they say that? You still would get a championship. You still are there to play. And if you felt that strongly about not going and playing, you didn't have to go. There are lots of players that did not go. So I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that, they were taken out of their routines. And the Clippers at that time, they had a lot of guys that were in those streets, A lot of their routine included, post-game partying. I mean, we heard that there was, herbal things in there. The NBA stopped testing for weed during that summer. And, eventually now it's a part of their new collective bargaining agreement. So it's not like they couldn't blow while they were there, right? They were drinking. So, and again, I know that athletes, professional athletes especially, get really locked into their routines, good or bad. And they get really locked into their rituals pregame and things like that. But all of this just sounds like an excuse to me because, one, you guys were up 3-1, but you were ready to go home. So you took your foot off the gas at the moment right before success? That sounds like imposter syndrome, or you just don't have it. And I don't think that y'all just don't have it. I think just a little lazy, and you got overtaken. Maybe it was the mental aspect of you, but to try and downplay it, what would you have done if you won? I mean, let's be for real, right? The Clippers have imaginary banners hanging up in the Staples Center. Like, what do those banners say? You got a Taylor Swift banner up there. okay? And she's not even into the sport. She's into football now. So come on, man. I think that is weak. I think that it's also insulting just because you guys didn't come ready to play and prepared. What about all the teams that did? What about the vets that were in shape and handled business? Jimmy Butler looked like he came to play, put in work. So did AD for a little bit, and listen. So I just feel like it's a cop-out, and why are we still talking about it almost 4 years later? Clearly, it's a sore spot because y'all know, you were close, and that was probably your window to a title. I mean, obviously, Lou, you're gone now and retired from the league, but overall, as a Clippers fan, I think that, not saying it'll never come up again, but that was it, and y'all blew it.
And that's why the Clippers will forever be losers. Losers mentality.
That is true. And tell me this, Andy. Who was the coach of the Clippers at that time?
Was it Ty Lue?
It was Ty Lue.
But I'm not going to knock him on that, though.
I'm not either, but I'm just saying, you don't know how to keep your people motivated, Ty. You played on the Lakers in 2000s. Right? Mega distract. And again, I understand it was a different type of setup. PG was missing his girl, missing home. You got different types of personalities that comprise that Clippers team. Montrezl Harrell had just lost his grandmother, so understood that, different mind state. But the rest of y'all, I don't know. Nothing else to add, Andy?
Nah.
Nah, I said it all. Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works out, but I think it's a cop-out. When we come forward, we're going to get into Michael Jordan's son, Marcus. He has some more issues, and he and Larsa might have issues. I kind of think that they're just trying to do a lot. Well, not one of these stories, but I think they're just trying to do a lot to keep their name out there, because really, this is silly. And, of course, we're going to get into Xzibit's comments. All that and more on the other side. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Only 1 in 5 people with autism are employed, despite many having the skill set and desire to work.
Maybe it's because employers don't know what kind of jobs they can do. Like, what about a programmer?
That's a job for someone with autism.
How about a healthcare worker?
Yep, that is too. People with autism can do a lot of different jobs, but often get overlooked due to outdated stigmas. Introducing WIN by Autism Speaks. We help businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring.
What about a ranch hand?
To learn more, go to autismspeaks.org/win.
This week at Target, you'll find different early Black Friday deals. Get fun deals on the latest tech, toys, and video games, plus smart deals on small appliances, floor care, and so much more. At Target, you'll discover different early Black Friday deals each week. And get what you need for the holidays fast with free drive-up or score free shipping when you spend $35 or use your red card at Target.com. Get low prices and early Black Friday deals only at Target. Exclusions apply.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, I forgot to drop this in my conversation starters, but I really wanted to share this with you guys because Thanksgiving is next week. I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week, but Thanksgiving is next week, right? And, you know, Red Lobster has a new commercial. And I know Red Lobster and Thanksgiving don't match. However, they got Bishop Shirley Caesar on this commercial jingle. And it is to her beans, greens, tomatoes. I don't know the rest of the vegetables and food items that were listed out. But she's listing out shrimp and seafood items, Cheddar Bay biscuits, etc. for the new Red Lobster commercial. And it is hilarious. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Check that out. Shout out to her because, you know, I feel like that's a holiday song now. Andy?
Can we play a quick game?
Okay, of course.
I call it the ultimate Thanksgiving plate.
Okay.
So basically, we pick 5 items.
Mm-hmm.
So if you pick like dressing, I can't pick dressing.
Oh.
And then we bet, and you know, we see who has the best plate.
Okay.
Go ahead, you start off first.
I'm gonna start off with what are my favorites. Those are the sides. So I'm gonna start off with dressing, not stuffing.
Okay, dressing. I'm gonna start off with. I'm not gonna do the whole turkey, but I'm gonna go with turkey wings.
Can I go fried turkey?
Well, you don't have a protein. I got turkey though, so no, you can't.
No, I can't go fried turkey.
Nope.
Like not fried turkey breast. If you got fried turkey wings.
I already got turkey.
But we're going parts. You specified a part, so okay. All right, fine. Well, then there will be no protein in my meal.
Oh yeah, you don't do chicken, huh?
I do chicken.
Okay then. So what's up? You ain't gonna have
what, a
chicken on?
Cornish hen or something?
Okay, why not?
We're gonna have Cornish hens with my dressing. Okay.
So you got Cornish hen and dressing. I got turkey wings, mac and cheese, turkey wings and mac. I think I'm winning right now. You got 3 more items.
That is so unfair. So what do I have? I said dressing, right?
Which is not bad. I think you got a cool little plate.
Dressing is good. What was my other thing?
You had Cornish hen.
Cornish hen and dressing. It's a dry meal. We're gonna put in there no vegetables yet. I guess we're just gonna eat that celery and onions and bell peppers out that dressing. So I'm gonna go sweet potatoes.
Okay.
No marshmallows.
I'm with you on that. Okay, not too bad. Well, I'm gonna just keep it simple and go with some collard greens.
Okay.
Collard greens, mac, and turkey wings. I'm killing you right now.
You are. I'm gonna
go
with cabbage.
Cabbage. Okay, that's 4. What else? Cranberry sauce.
Okay.
Your last one.
My last one. Okay. What do I eat for Thanksgiving?
You know I got the best plate right now. You know I'm killing it.
Only because you got the mac and cheese. Otherwise,
that should have been your first. But it seems like you prefer dressing over the mac.
I like them both, but you know, mac is that's a lot of dairy. That's a lot of dairy, you know. And I love cheese. I love that. Here's my thing, and I may get a lot of flack from some people. Don't put no Velveeta in my mac and cheese.
You're not gonna get no flack. I think there's some people out there that
can't mess with Velveeta. Velveeta jacks your stomach up.
Interesting.
I don't care what you say. Gives you the bubble ups. That square cheese. Stay away from it.
Okay.
Stay away from it.
I'll keep it simple for you. Make your last option a dessert.
A dessert?
Yeah.
I already got sweet potato, peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler? Okay. And I'll go with some pumpkin pie.
Okay, I like
think
pumpkin pie. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely probably maybe lean a little bit more towards your plate, but my plate's not bad.
I'm sorry.
I
I mean,
just-
your plate is cool.
It's cool.
Cool.
I mean, I would just like a little fried turkey with it
Okay.
and mac and cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
But I am definitely a sides person at Thanksgiving. Like, I like turkey, but it's always a bunch left over. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make turkey soup. Am I? Am I really? No.
One last question about Thanksgiving. I got a lot of flack from this years ago. How would you feel if somebody brought spaghetti to the table, to the potluck, to the Thanksgiving dinner?
Is that for them? They going to eat it?
I mean, it's for everybody.
I mean, listen, it would be, there are always dishes that are in the corner of the buffet table. Somebody may want it. Are there some kids? Maybe they want some spaghetti, just the basics. It doesn't go, but if that's your contribution, so be it.
Okay.
You know?
I got a lot of flack for it. I was like, hold on, I done seen spaghetti at Thanksgiving dinners before.
I mean,
as a side.
I don't really want that. I mean, but people got mad because I suggest green salad sometimes.
Oh, wow.
There's not too many carbs. You need your veggies. Aubrey Sinclair mentioned honey baked ham. There is no honey baked ham coming my way.
I'll take a slice.
I don't eat that. No swine is how I stay fine. No pork on my fork. Yeah, I stopped eating pork in 95. So, and actually, funny enough, the two last pork items I had was pepperoni pizza, and I had my parents had got honey baked ham for something, and it was amazing. It's really good, but
so you don't do ribs either, huh?
Do not.
Damn.
I miss ribs. I really do. Not beef ribs, because those look like brontosaurus burgers and stuff like that. I'm not messing with the beef ribs. Were way too big and just
they slamming though.
Sometimes, but pork ribs, man. And my dad used to like barbecue, and he would put the marinade on and hook it up. Man, I used to be messing up some pork ribs and potato salad. I love cookout food. I love barbecue food. Summer food. I love food.
No potato salad for me.
You don't mess with potato salad?
Egg salad, macaroni salad, none of them. Too much mayo.
I
Too much
love
mayo.
potato salad.
Nah,
you don't like mayonnaise?
It's crazy because I'll eat some tuna, but egg salad, macaroni salad, potato salad, I'm straight. You can have it all.
I understand that. But, of course, the conversation goes, we already know you can't eat everybody's potato salad. Like, the worst for me, don't give me potato salad with no hard potatoes. Those hard square potatoes. Like, what do you think? Does that look appealing to you? Because it doesn't to me.
It can't be creamy, huh?
It can't be too creamy. I like it creamy, but I need my potato salad to be mashed. Have some texture to it. I don't want it to be runny, but I definitely don't want no hard square potatoes feeling like you got to take a knife and a fork to it.
That's how I like my mashed potatoes. I like it chunky.
You do?
I like some chunks. I like to chew a little bit.
I like it texturized. Like I said, I don't want it too smooth and just whatever, but I don't like those hard bits. That doesn't work for me. Now that you're all hungry and thinking about next week, what are you guys having for dinner next week? I'm gonna have to ask that question. Let me know what's on your menu. What are you cooking? Aubrey Sinclair says need that, but Creole potato salad. That is facts. Creole potato salad is good. But once again, I think we might have talked about that. I have an affinity for like tart things, sour. So I like vinegar, so you're like, so I like that little hint of vinegar that is in the potato salad, that mustard. Yeah.
I hate mustard.
Do you really?
I hate it. I hate when people cook burgers with mustard, and I know some people use mustard as a binder.
For chicken and stuff, fried chicken.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You can taste it right away.
Absolutely. I don't like that tangy. I don't like the vinegar. I don't like none of that.
I love the tang. Give me the tang. So that means you don't like Carolina barbecue.
I don't even. You said Carolina barbecue?
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I've had Carolina barbecue, so I wouldn't even know.
So Carolina barbecue, they use a mustard-based sauce instead of, like, there's tomato in it, but it's not like, barbecue sauce is generally a little ketchupy. This is like has more mustard base in it, so that's what Carolina barbecue is.
Give me ketchup. I'll put ketchup on everything.
Will you? I like
100%.
ketchup, but
Like I'll put ketchup on a steak. While everybody's using A1 sauce, put some ketchup on that joint. Hot dogs, put some ketchup on that joint.
I want a garlic butter spread on my steak. Maybe some
That too. I rock with that.
horseradish, something like.
I don't know about no horseradish.
It if it's right. Again, I haven't had steak in like 20 years, so I don't know. I don't really recall. And let me tell you this, not that anybody's suggesting this, and not that you asked, but I don't want to see any part. Don't offer me fake steak or anything like that. I don't know if it exists, but I can't imagine that would be appealing to me.
So like vegan.
Yeah, like here's the thing, Impossible Burgers, they're cool, they're okay. I preferred them over Beyond Burgers, but as you see, that was a pandemic thing, because nobody is running around screaming Impossible Burger, give me a Beyond Burger. And all you fast food restaurants that took away your turkey burgers to add in those vegan burgers, for shame, I miss it. Heck of random, Food is another thing that I love. Anyway, Thanksgiving is next week. Shout out to Pastor Shirley Caesar. Now, we're going to get into these Xzibit comments because, it's a reoccurring thing. And sometimes I wonder, is it just too, no one wants to think of themselves as the old get off my lawn person, right? But as we get older, our, in theory, viewpoint on certain things narrows, and we aren't as flexible maybe as we once were. So, but we all talk about some aspects of these new performers, and that a lot of them aren't really locked into it for the love of music. And I'm not saying you necessarily have to be, but what I am saying is you can tell the difference, and it's showing through in the quality of product that they're putting out, the performances or lack thereof, and just overall, it's more a desire to be famous, I feel, and to have hustles than, really about the artistry for a lot of artists. So when we come forward, we're going to get into Xzibit's comments. And, I have some other comments about the status of rap currently today. And again, we've talked back and forth about a lot of these things, but, there are some new perspectives in there. And I don't think it's quite as dire as some make it out to be, but I do think there's some things that could be pointed out. So we'll get into all of that on the other side. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Get his dead right, get your bounce on, back that up. Pass me the bottle, fill your glass up, get your walk on, get your head right. I know you feeling. Get his dead right, get your bounce on, back that up. Pass me the bottle, fill your glass up. Tell your people to call my people. Recognize all men are not created.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Jury selection is now underway for the suspect accused of a deadly mass shooting in Norfolk, Virginia. Deontay Palmer allegedly shot 5 women in Young Terrace back in 2021, killing 3 of them. Palmer, who was black, is facing numerous charges, including second-degree murder. Prosecutors say Palmer first shot his girlfriend in the shoulder, then opened fire on the 4 women who came to help her, including her mom, who was among those killed. The D.C. government wants to give students at local HBCUs a path into the public service sector. The city will offer an apprenticeship program to graduates of Howard University and the University of the District of Columbia. 25 students will be picked from each university for a paid 1-year apprenticeship with a local government agency. The students will be eligible for full-time employment with the city after completing the program. Applications for the apprenticeships will be accepted in February. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do go. It's called the Accident Guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? The Accident Guys have helped over 5,000 injured clients with an impressive winning record.
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, Black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any Black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its LA Repair Participatory Budgeting Program invite nonprofit organizations to submit proposals to turn community ideas into reality. More than $5.4 million is available to make a difference in the Arleta, Pacoima, Westlake, Skid Row, South LA, Leimert Park, and Harbor areas. Don't wait. Proposals are due on November 29th at noon. To apply, visit repair.lacity.gov. LA Repair gives people real power over real money. Visit repair.lacity.gov.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right, yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, on low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
That's my song, Andy.
Listen and hope they cut us, whether they like or not. I wanna show you off, I wanna show you off. I wanna brag about it, I wanna tie the knot. I wanna show you off, I wanna show you off. I wanna show you, yeah, yeah. I wanna show you off, I wanna show you off. I wanna show you, yeah, yeah. I wanna show you off, I wanna show you off. I wanna show you. Hold my hand, you can hear what it was, boy. So 9:30. I'll see you there.
10:30 actually.
No, you hang out.
10:36.
You hang up. Something different about you. Love it when you hit and a smack too. Baby, let me lick on your tattoos. That's true that I like PDA. Take it to a city play. In the bathroom, who that man with the big strong hands on her ass in the club with the pass? Baby, that's you. Front seat chilling with the window down. I be 10 toes down on the dash, getting fast.
Shout out to
Hope you
Doja
can
Cat.
handle
I'm
the heat.
so
Your
mad
name
that I
is
missed the
Get used to
Scarlet
my
tour
fans
here in
looking at
LA
you.
a couple weeks ago. But you know, I give out my concert life for you guys because I'm here. And you know, our closeness, our relationship is much better than seeing some of these performers live. You know, well, at least I feel that way. We'll catch him. We're going to catch him. What did you think of that, Andy? Because I told you to listen to it. We were talking about her album. I told you to check that out. A couple other cuts. What were your thoughts?
So I did listen to the whole album this past weekend. And I know you're going to talk about Xzibit and his issues with, I guess, artists now not having the passion. Doja Cat got the passion.
She does.
This album was fire, in my opinion. It's one of those albums that you could low-key kind of play. Like, you could have, like, a kickback or, you know, be at a lounge or whatever, and you could play that album in the background, and it's vibes all the way through. And it sounds like a hip-hop album because she's over here rapping.
Right.
Shout out to Doja Cat. I think she's at least keeping hip-hop alive in a lot of ways.
I know people are in and out on her. I know that she turned a lot of people off with her behavior towards her fans, and so to speak. I vibe with her. I like it. You know, I don't get too deep into any of the artists really for the most part because you're going to be disappointed sometimes. I mean, that's just what it is. I'm taking it back to old school back in the day where we really didn't know too much and weren't really clamoring to know a whole lot because I'm not looking for a lot from you. I don't need you to speak up on political issues all the time. I don't need your opinion on world events. I'm not saying you can't give them. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying I am not a person that feels as though the artists I admire have to make a statement. No, I just like what you do in this fact, and I'm just going to stay in that lane with you, you know, because sometimes you start playing in traffic and you're going to find that there's a lot of bumps and potholes in the road.
I don't know why we expect our celebrities to be like political in their stances or stuff like that. Just provide us with your art and that's it. Or I don't know why we as a people, we feel the need to put a certain type of responsibility on people. Like, for example, Michael Jordan. Right. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, I don't rock with Michael Jordan because, you know, he sells shoes to the Republicans or he doesn't give back to the community. Low-key, I'm not expecting anything from him, per se. Now, if he does something, hey, much love.
Correct.
But I'm not about to put that responsibility on you.
I feel the same way. Like, do you take as much interest in the Starbucks worker who is making your venti latte, you know, light ice, you know, whatever your combo is? Do you care what they do when they leave there? No, you just care that your drink is made correctly and that they give you service with a smile. So I think that sometimes there's a little too much requirements, especially when you wouldn't want to be in that position speaking for everybody yourself, more than likely. But, you know, just an opinion. So Xzibit, he recently appeared on the Adam Carolla show. He was featured on there with legendary director Rob Reiner. And the conversation turned to the current state of hip-hop. And so Xzibit said there's no emotional investment in the music like when we were putting music out. He said that you had the CD cover, the album cover, the cassette. You got to open it. You got to see who produced it. You got to read the lyrics. You're not guessing. A lot of those things, he said, contributed to artists of that time having 10, 15, 20, 30 long year careers. He says that doesn't exist anymore. I feel like that's one that is kind of hard to judge because we don't know who's going to be around. I mean, Nicki Minaj has been in the game for what, 15 years now? Close to it. She's still around, right? Drake. I mean, there's lots of artists that are in there that have shown some longevity in the face of a lot of pop movements. So, you never can tell. And then nostalgia swings back around. So I'm not going to say I can predict what 20 years from now is going to move people and make them feel in that moment. It could be a Sexy Red performance. You never know, right? But I do agree with him that I miss the idea of having a physical product and getting to flip through the CD booklet or the album lyric sheets and reading the thank yous on the back. And that's how I figured out, songwriters and producers and who I liked, who had a sound, because I was reading all of that. But, things change, right? So Xzibit also said that he doesn't feel that hip hop holds the same weight that it once did, although all the other genres have embraced the culture at this point. And I thought that that was so interesting because I get what he meant by that statement, and it kind of, it hit a little different because, hip hop, much like rock and roll before it and jazz before that, it's kind of the music of the rebels, the outsiders, the youth in many cases getting to speak out with their voices. And it, it felt like it really spoke to us and how we were feeling. And so the idea that it's just, we started talking about it being watered down, of course, in the 90s. That's when the sellout conversation got really, really huge. And it's so interesting, how things take a turn because we went from one end of the spectrum to the other. Now everybody's in theory, sellout because everybody's selling you something and everybody's in there for the hustle. Xzibit added, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or not, but hip-hop doesn't have the staying power that it used to. You see country music having hip elements of hip-hop. I mean, facts. You saw who won the Best New Artist Award the other night. He was white, but he could have been a rapper. In theory, just in how he was dressed, his face was tatted, not what you would likely be expecting from a country artist. You listen to some of the more popular country songs that are coming out now, the up-tempo ones, and they are taking a cadence of hip-hop. Those 808s are beating a little bit stronger, If you're not a country music fan, maybe I'll get a couple of songs that maybe you want to check out because I do think that you are saying, obviously you could point to Little Nas X, that's easy. Even Mr. Achy Breaky Heart. What's Miley's dad name? Billy Ray Cyrus. Yeah. So I mean,
Nelly too.
Huh?
Nelly.
Nelly made that crossover. And just if you listen to some of the current songs, something's up with that. Aubrey Sinclair is asking what the original artist sample was. I'm assuming you're talking about that Doja Cat song. Baby, that is true. All I do is think of you. I love the way they flipped that sample in there.
That wasn't Mint Condition?
No, that's Troop. All I do is think of you. Listen, pull it up. Run it back real quick. It's sped up a little bit. It's definitely Troop, though. I feel like that's on my list of, and that's crazy for me to say, a remake that is better than the original. And, of course, the Jackson 5 sung the original. But it's just something about that Troop remake. They put their foot in it. Aubrey Sinclair, on the album, CD, and tape covers. Maybe you had more coming after that. Shout out to Brother Alfonso. Sweet potato pie is a must-have at Thanksgiving. Absolutely. But see, here's the thing. I usually pick one. I'm not going to do both sweet potato pie and the yams. So I got to pick one or the other because, I watch my sugar intake at this point in life. Um, Brother Alfonso also said green salad, okay, spaghetti ain't got no business at Thanksgiving dinner. Like I said, slide it over into the corner. Somebody may eat it. It's not going to be on my plate, but it might be on somebody. And then sometimes, too, you get tired of Thanksgiving food early. So, that might be a proper, hey, so you don't have to cook the next day and you also don't have to eat Thanksgiving leftovers again. But, that is that. At any rate, back to Xzibit. He said that you see pop music. When's the last time you saw a rock band that didn't have a hip hop element to it? I'm sick of hip hop and I love hip hop. I want to see a rock band come out and steamroll. He also added that there's no good representation of what hip hop is supposed to be right now. Not taking anything away from these kids because they're feeding their families. They're not in the street. They're not doing, well, at least some of them aren't doing anything illegal. I can't even say that they're not in the streets because, they seem to be more in the streets than ever before, But he said that I think the real path right now for somebody to come out with some real content and have that staying power and show that it's possible. I do think it's wide open, but I also think, there's an abundance of music out there. People aren't taking the time to weed through that to find, there's no real tastemakers in music anymore. There's not, you think about how many people are going to traditional radio stations to find their new music or their music. They're finding it on the internet and it's, random in how they come across it. Maybe the playlists are certainly big and there's a lot of politics to get onto those playlists, but Andy?
I think the culture obviously is definitely it definitely has shifted. I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago, like hip hop publications, for example. We don't have the Source, I don't think, like that no more. Double XL, are they even still popping like that? Like,
they're around. The Source is around, but they're not relevant. They are not. People aren't looking to them for their takes and opinions on music. There's no more, rating albums 5 mics. And also with the speed, we've talked about this, how most people listen to an album once and that's it. They're not going to go back to that. But what is included with that, though, is that, before journalists, people in general, maybe sat with a record for a minute before they formed an opinion. Now we form an opinion based off of the first 60 seconds, if that, of a song. We're like, this is whack, move on, right? And it's kind of not fair. And some songs do need to grow on you. You need to hear them in the proper setting. There are songs that you could hear sitting on, at home in your system, and you could have a banging system, but you get in your car and you're like, oh, this is different. Or you go out to, a party or a club and you see how it feels in that environment and it takes the song somewhere else, or you see someone perform it live on those rare occasions and you're like, that's the energy. Like, I think of someone like Bruno Mars when they were doing what Silk Sonic, right? I liked a lot of the Silk Sonic songs, but what I do know without a doubt is that performance element on top of the music took the songs to a whole nother level, just getting the whole vibe and the sense of that. And even though they're playing dress up to a degree, it didn't feel as costumey or as, we're putting this on today and taking it off. It felt like they cared about the time frame that they were trying to evoke with the music. Andy? No? So, I'm with you, Xzibit. I feel that. Okay, listen, we're continuing on this music conversation. On the other side, we're going to talk about Cam and Mace. They're some of my favorite subject matters. But this time, it's not about their sports take. It's about their music take, and it has to do with Tupac. And we're going to get into a producer's thoughts about him, too. Because, this is a hip-hop hour. And, of course, I got some commentary to add because no Pac slander shall be formed when I'm around. And it's not that it's slander, but, I disagree. All of that and more on the other side. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
Thinking about hosting a podcast and don't know where to start? Morris Media Studios has you covered. We're a professional podcast and voiceover studio located in Leimert Park. We specialize in recording and live streaming audio and video podcasts. Let us help you set up, record, and distribute your podcast. Hosting a podcast is a great way to bring awareness to your business, product, or good cause. For more info, visit morrismediastudios.com or give us a call at 323-815-4204.
Beloved Entertainment presents Sweet Spot Live with Angelique Francis, host of KBLA's Living in the Sweet Spot at the beautiful Miracle Theater, 226 South Market Street in Inglewood, Sunday, November 19th at 6 p.m. Join me, Tavis Smiley, and KBLA Talk 1580 for real short stories told live on stage by our own storytellers, straight from the neighborhood, celebrating our unique culture, our strengths, our courage, our faith, and of course, our fire. Come walk with us through the neighborhoods, sit at our kitchen tables, even run with us down our dark alleys if you dare. But just know that in the sweet spot, there is love and laughter, joy and pain, secrets never told. Again, that's Sweet Spot Live with Angelique Francis, Sunday, November 19th at the Miracle Theater, 226 South Market Street in Inglewood at 6 p.m. Tickets available at sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com. That's sweetspotlive.eventbrite.com. Sweet Spot Live, we've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Now, you know I have an affinity for Cam and Mace. Harlem, what's up? But they saddened me with this take. So recently they were on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, and the subject came up about Tupac and DMX, right? And let me say this. I understand their perspective. I just don't agree with it. So Mace and Cam both expressed their belief that DMX was a better rap artist than Tupac, right? So during the appearance, they were having a conversation, and they said that the reason why they chose DMX is because they were able to witness him create and perform up close at the peak of his career. Cam said, me personally, I've seen DMX. I didn't really get to see Pac. I'm talking about on tour with DMX, in the studio with DMX. I really got to see people lose their mind about DMX. I know people love Pac, but I didn't get to see him on tour or do anything else. So for me, it's DMX because I actually got to be a part of it and see him from the the opening, battle raps, that type of thing, to selling out 10, 20 million of records. So that is Cam's feeling. Mace echoed that. He said that the energy that DMX poured into, you know, his artistry, the command he held over audiences, which is something I can agree with. Tupac never got the opportunity to perform in, you know, large venues and stadiums because, of course, rap wasn't at that level yet. The insurance wouldn't allow for it. Nobody was insuring a rap concert like that at a big stadium or whatever. But I saw DMX perform at what used to be Irvine Amphitheater, and he used to always start his concerts with a prayer, and you could hear him like flick the lighter and light the blunt, and he would say this prayer. And one time, this particular time, I was backstage, so I got to see it from the, you know, the performer's view and see the audience. And man, when I tell you that he very much did have the whole crowd locked in, just, I can't explain it. It really was powerful. And the prayer, like, you know, he had church on a Saturday night in an unholy environment. That was the power of him. He was a powerful performer, lyricist, all of that. But we're still talking about Pac, and Pac has been gone almost 30 years. We're still looking at people saying, you know, that they want to be the embodiment of Pac in their music. And no disrespect to DMX, none at all. I'm not throwing this as shade or anything. Who's saying I want to be the next DMX? Who's saying I want a career like DMX? And again, no shade. The man had 2 #1 platinum albums upon release in 1 year. I don't think it's been done again. I could be wrong on that. Fact check me. I invite you to do so. But I think that, you know, still in comparison to what Pac did and his legend status is, you know, no comparison, right? Listen, Mace said, when I first heard DMX in the studio, I was like, this dude is just different. Pac was phenomenal too. I can't take anything away from him, but DMX had more than Pac. I'm going to go on record and say that he had more on Pac. So, you know, that is their opinion. When we get into the next hour, I'm going to play a clip of an interview with a producer named Drummer Boy. If you're familiar with Gucci Mane, he produced a lot with Gucci Mane. He has a lot of hits under his belt, but he believes that Tupac was playing a character to fit in with Death Row. And what I am going to say to Drummer Boy is, dog, you cannot be serious. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you facts over feelings. I'm going to get Andy sitting here saying, little bit. Nah. We're going to talk about it next hour. I'm going to give you facts over feelings. We're also going to talk about cancel culture with Chris Tucker and his new tour and a bunch more other topics. You know, it's the after hours, so things get a little loose. All of that and more when we come forward. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. News and sports is up next.
Love is pain, but I need it. We feel too good when the beam kicks in. Like Fortnite, I'ma need your skin.